Hello, welcome to FullShot of Life. This is my first video, so thank you for tuning in. First off, I would like to dedicate this video to two of my good friends. The first person I'd like to dedicate this video to is my friend Mallory, who is a YouTuber and also a good friend of mine. She has an amazing channel where she does amazing body paints and other cool DIYs. So she has always encouraged me to do videos and so forth, and now I'm finally doing it. So with her ever encouragement and so forth, I'm finally doing it, and thank you very much. So I want to dedicate this first video to you, Miss Mouse. Mallory, thank you. The other person I would like to thank and also dedicate this video to is my good friend WB. Thank you, sir, for always believing in me, especially in this project. It was outside of my comfort zone, and you always gave me the encouragement that I could do it and that I had the ability to do it. And you coached me and helped me through this process. So, with that said, I want to thank both you guys. Also, too, like I was saying, back to business. So anyways, welcome to FullShot of Life. On this channel, there's going to be a wide variety of things that I do. I think the title of the channel is good. It's a full shot of life. I'm going to cover all the different things that I like to do in my life. I want to share those things with you, whoever wants to stop in and take a watch. So, I thought it'd be fitting for my first video to talk about the process of making my desk. So my desk first started off looking like this. Basically, it was a computer table, I should say desk, and when I first got it, it served its purpose, but I quickly realized that because of the spacing of the second shelf, it was so low to where it took up a lot of my desk space. The desk size itself was a good size for me to do crafting and to do stuff at, but with that shelf there, it really cramped my ability of things to do. But I like the fact that there was that second shelf, and then there was the two outside, kind of like pillar shelves, I guess would be a good word to call them. I also liked how it had the computer tray down below so that I can keep crafting tools and so forth in. So I liked that. But for a while, I was trying to figure out how I could make it better. And I went through a lot of different ideas and so forth. And I got a I don't know what you want to call it, a arm wall, a dresser, I don't know what you want to call it. It was basically this. And that's what it was. So let's do that again because my phone went off. So from my neighbors, I got this armoire, dresser, I honestly don't know what you would want to call it. Basically, it was this. That's what I got. And I was going to use it for storage out in my garage and so forth. Well, one day I got looking at it. I said, hey, what if I use the basis of that and use that to help make my desk better? So started thinking of some ideas and so forth, and I basically decided that I would make my desk basically like a two-part desk. Really, in all honesty, a three-part desk, but really a two-part. Basically, I took this, not that, that's a messy desk. I took this, my desk, And I took this, the arm wall, and I made this. So this video, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the process, how I went from the first picture to the last picture. Now, I'm not used to YouTubing, and I wasn't aware or thought about making this into a video. So I didn't record or even take a lot of pictures of the process. But I did take some pictures, and I took a few videos. So I'll throw those in there. But I'm going to post some pictures. I'm going to kind of talk about the process and what it all took to do. And it was a fun process. And now I have this incredible desk that is going to allow me to do a lot of different crafts and a lot of different things that I enjoy to do. And I'm hoping to be able to film those things so I can share with you guys. And if you want to stop back by and see those videos, cool. If you just keep on strolling by, it's all good. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just doing this to share what I love with you guys. And if you guys share the passion, cool, stick around. Let's have some fun. A lot of things I'm going to be doing, they're new to me. There's things that I've studied for a while, or things that I've looked into, or things I've been interested in for a while, but just I've never really taken the time to really do it sincerely. So those are the things I'm looking forward into doing. So you'll get to watch me, a noob, try and do some of the stuff that you may have seen on YouTube and thought, oh, I could never do that, or it won't turn out as good as what it was on that video, that professional who did it. Well, I'm not a professional. So at least you can watch my videos, hang out with me. I'll try and crack a few jokes, and I'll show you that it's okay to not be perfect. It's all about just trying. And the more you do something, the better you're going to get. So I'm sure if I continue making videos, in a couple years I'll look back and be like, what was I thinking? And look at how far I've come. So with that said, let's look at some pictures, and I'll see if I can figure out how to do voiceovers. Anyways, thanks. We'll talk more at the end. Alright, so here is a picture of what we came up with, myself and WB, who helped me with this project. Basically, we took that arm wall and we dismantled it, tore it apart, and we took these side walls. There was a little bit of water damage at the bottom of the wall, so we ended up cutting, I think it was like about 6 inches off the bottom, so it made it a total of 48 inches tall. And then we took a piece of 1x12 that I got from my work and attached that to the top. There was a slight little gap in the back, so we ended up having to get a piece of 1x4, I believe it was, and we attached that in the back to finish off the back to enclose it. Then on the back, we had some backing board. It's basically paneling. It's like a bunch of layers of cardboard that's been laminated or glued together. I got some of that from my work and attached that on the back. And you can see that there's 2 square holes there on the right side. I put those holes so wires could go through. Later I'm going to end up not actually liking those holes, but they're there. So, but basically that's what we ended up with. So in this next picture, I went ahead and had some ebony stain, and I went ahead and stained the top and the front of the back, or what. Basically, I just started calling this the dresser. I called this the dresser part of the desk. So went ahead and put a ebony stain on it, and I was going to go ahead and put a satin finish clear coat on it to kind of match the sides and so forth. But I really liked how the ebony looked. And in the next picture, you're going to be able to see what it looked like after I put the satin stain on it. So now here's a picture of what the top looked like after the satin clear coat was put on. The first time I put the clear coat on there, I did a really thin coat. I did a couple thin coats, and it just didn't look right. It was still rough. So I ended up going back over it and giving it a couple really good heavy coats, and it just turned out great. The top is smooth. It looks nice. I'm really happy with how it turned out. You can see the wood grain just pops out on it. There on the right, there's like a little coloring discrepancy. I'm not quite sure if that happened while we were staining it or what, if that area got a little darker. But in all honesty, it's really hard to see in most lighting. This lighting here in the angle, it was easier to see. But it just turned out really nice, and it looked really good, and I was happy with how it turned out. So in this next picture here, now it's the top I went ahead and covered with an ad to go ahead and protect the top clear coat and so forth, because I was going to paint the sides black. As you can see in this picture, the sides are like a dark brown. They had like a fake laminate wood on it. You know, they looked nice, but I kind of wanted to keep with the theme of my desk, which was black and then that lighter wood color. So I went ahead and decided to get some spray paint and just spray paint the sides black, just so that everything would kind of match. So that's what this picture here is. This is me prepping it, getting it ready to spray paint, and in the next picture we'll see how it looked. So now in this next picture, this is when we did the first mock-up. So we went ahead and took the sides of the old desk and went ahead and cut those down to, I believe, 18 inches. So it gave me about a foot from the top of the dresser to that first shelf. And this was the first time after cutting it, we put it on top there to kind of see what it was going to look like and how good it went together. You can also see in this picture that the sides are now black. They're not that dark brown anymore. I still have the top covered because I just got done. And later we're going to decide to go ahead and put some of that backer board or the paneling that's on the bottom half of the dresser. We're going to put that on the top half where those shelves are and so forth. So really happy with how it looked. So my first idea was to use these table legs that just screw on. I bought the hardware. I was just going to screw these onto the existing desktop, and then that desktop would slide into underneath the dresser. So that's how the two-part came into play. So I went ahead and stained these up. They looked great. I got 5 of them because I knew the desktop was a little heavy, so I wanted to give it extra support. So I figured 3 in the back and then 2 in the front, and stained them up, screwed them on, and the desk wobbled. The desk wobbled a lot, and it just wasn't going to work out. And I wish that I could return them. Unfortunately, like I said, I stained them, and so I pretty much just had to take that. But that's fine. I have something else that I'm going to use them for, so they're not going to go to waste. But this idea failed. In the next video, you'll see. So as you can see in that last video, the desk was very wobbly. I wasn't joking. Made it to a point to where I was even scared to play games on there because I felt like every time I moved my mouse, it would fall over. So I hit the graphic paper here and made my measurements and started figuring out exactly how much room I had on the desk and how I'm just going to rebuild the bottom. So that's what these pictures here are. This was me figuring out how to build the bottom, so I decided to go with 2x4s. And this picture here more or less shows what I was going to do. So 2x4s for the legs, and then 2x4s for cross beams. And I went ahead and decided to get a pocket jig to make it more streamlined and look nicer overall. So that was a good investment. But this is me figuring out basically what I was going to do. There were some changes that we made once we started building it, but this was me figuring out how to do it. So basically, this is what I ended up with for the bottom of the desk. So I used 2x4s, 2x4s for the cross legs. I wanted to put a cross beam just under where the arch tray was, so that I ended up putting it about 8 inches down, which gave me about 2 inches space from where the bottom of the tray rolls out. I put a 1x6 as that cross beam, and then I also put a 1x6 across the back to create a lip to rest the desk up against. We did this without measuring. You can see WB there in the background. We did this without sizing up the desktop. So luckily at the end, the desktop fit on there perfectly and all our measurements were right. So, but this was the basic form of the bottom of the desk. So the next day I went ahead and I got some wood putty, and I went ahead and put some wood putty on some of the parts of the 2x4s because there was just lumber was rough at some points and so forth. And in all honesty, it bugged me a little bit. In hindsight, after paint was added and everything else, it probably wasn't that big of a deal, but at least this wood putty, it dried really fast. So it was probably, I put it on 45 minutes later, I'm sitting there with my sander, sanding it down and smoothing it out. So it wasn't really that long of a process. It just was something, in all honesty, I probably could have skipped, because I think the paint and everything would have kind of filled in those areas that I was letting bug me. But I think I was kind of getting to a point where I was trying to make it perfect. But oh well, it was a learning experience. So now this is after the first coat of spray paint on the bottom half of the desk, and the wood was just sucking up the paint like crazy. It didn't really go on clear, and that's when I realized that I was going to need more than 2 cans of spray paint to do this. I should have got more, but I didn't. I was mid-project fighting the sun, and luckily one of my coworkers, I was able to put an order in for more paint, and she swung it by my house. And this was after she dropped it by, and I was getting more coats on it. You can see I have a nice beverage here to pass the time, and all the extra spray paint there in the back of my truck. But yeah, after, I think I ended up putting 4 coats to get it covered, and then I let it sit overnight. So these little legs I got to put on the end of the feet, just so they wouldn't mess up the carpet or anything like that, or scoot around or stuff. So I thought it'd be kind of good for just protection and so forth. So these are 2x4 black PVC feet. 2x4 lumber is not quite 2x4, it's slightly smaller. So these were kind of big. So nothing that a couple screws couldn't solve. So I went ahead and screwed those on, and they were great. They look nice. I wish that they were like a little bit tighter, but it's fine. I was a little excited getting those on there. There's a couple times where I almost split the bottoms of the 2x4 legs because I was going a little too fast, but they went on fine, and they looked good. They served their purpose. So I was happy with them. It looks nice. So I got these undercab lights on clearance at my work. They're really cool. You just run your hand over a sensor, it turns them on. And then there's another sensor you run your finger over, and it turns on the backlights, which is pretty cool. This was the first time I kind of hooked them up and I was playing with them, trying to figure out exactly where the sensors were. But these were really cool. Great addition to the desk. Really makes it nice. And then here's the desk in my room. This is just after we got it set up. So went ahead and attached the top to the dresser with a couple L brackets that I spray painted black so they blended in. That secured it nice and to the top, so thought I was going to need more, but I didn't. I have the main undercap light on here. I still need to secure the wire up underneath the top, but I'm just haven't got around to that. Still haven't got around to that, but the undercap light's bright. I went ahead and fished a power cord or power strip through one of those holes, and I have it attached to the side so I have power, easy to access, and so forth. But tons of space now to do whatever my little heart contents, and I'm just very happy with how it turned out and how it looks here. Now in this picture is with just the backlighting on for the undercap lights, which would be nice if, like, let's say I'm just doing something where I just kind of want to relax and chill and I don't want a bunch of light. I could just have the backlights on. It gives me enough light to, do minor stuff and so forth. Or if maybe I just want to have a little light in my room while I'm on my bed or something. But I like how it looks. I really like those undercap lights. In this last picture, this is the picture with the undercaps not on. Obviously, I haven't put anything in the shelf yet. In this picture, I'm still figuring out where I want to put things and so forth. But this is with the cabinet lights just off, just the desk by itself in my room. I was really excited. Like, this has been a long project, and it's taken time and figuring things out. And I was just so happy with how it turned out. It just looks so good. Now in this video here, I was playing some Fortnite one night with some friends, and after I got done, and I just was taking this video just so I could show them, I started putting some stuff up in the shelves and so forth. So I was starting to figure out where I want to put things and stuff. And then here at the end, you're going to see that I do a little, here it is, shake, shake. That thing's not moving. It's not wiggling like it was before. Thank goodness. Problem solved. Okay, whew. That was a mouthful. So now I'm going to do some editing, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. So now I guess I should do an ending. I don't know. I'll film an ending. I'll edit an ending. Okay. So, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my first video. I had fun making it. It was a learning experience. And I know it wasn't the best, but you know what? I've been talking about doing this for a long time. I've always let my fears stop me. Well, I'm trying to not let my fears stop me from doing things I want to do. So, I did it. I know it wasn't the best. I know it's probably rough. I'm probably look back at it and ask why I did it. But, hey, I did it. And even if I don't make another video, hey, at least I can say I made one YouTube video. Hey, so anyways, hey, I hope you guys have a good time. Much love to you all. See you at the next video.